Good morning, Cruise Control Nation. Tank here, just in Tarlac City, getting ready to get on the road. Headed out to Nueva Ecija and Aurora Boundary today. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully we get to see you on the road. Have a blessed Sunday.
I never get tired of seeing the sun come up on our rides. It's like one of the reasons I get up and do this. You never know what you're going to get, and that's what makes it so special. Coach looking very European this morning as we head towards the pause. So we always knew it was going to be a little bit rainy. We just weren't sure how much rain, and luckily for us, it was just a little bit there in the morning, which is always okay. You know, it kind of helps you cool off and everything. So as we roll into Santa Rosa, a little bit wet, but when we make the turn and start heading towards Nueva Ecija, it dries out pretty quick. Okay, so we've now made the turn from Santa Rosa. We're headed across this bypass road, fairly new road. I really like this road because it forces you to have to be really smart. It's very, very exposed, so lots of wind, crosswinds, headwinds, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And here we got Scavendish out in front where he likes to be. He always does a lot of filming for Ira and Alu Lopez. And so you tend to see him jetting out in front of us, getting camera angles and everything else. But when you're on a road like this, wherever you're riding, make sure that you stay close to the guys in front of you. You know, run your single baseline or double baseline, but try to stay as tight as you can. That's going to help create some efficiency for you, and you're going to enjoy the ride much more. So one of the things you see here throughout the video, we do a lot of talking, we do a lot of communicating. And that's just to make sure that we're always aware of what's going on in and around us and everything else. And I think that's a really important part of not just having a good ride, but also being safe. This is this little section of this bypass road that was not completed. It's in kind of a low spot. And so you got to, take care as you go through that area because it's a little bit broken up. But once you get over that, it's clear sailing. The road is in really good shape. And then it actually opens back up into being 4 lanes and almost 5 lanes wide in some areas. But just remember that communication is really important so that everyone can ride safely and enjoy the ride. So you see there, we just crossed over into Bongabon, and what we did was we were actually waiting up on top a few kilometers away, and we let our group go ahead a little bit. One of the things we practice a lot is doing a chase. And so our goal is to give them, 5-6 minute head start and then see where we catch up with them and that sort of thing. In this particular case, we were able to catch them very close to the boundary, but I think it had more to do with them stopping to take pictures because this is also a fun ride, and you got to make sure you have fun when you're out doing this stuff so that you continue to do it and enjoy yourself with you and your friends. But as we head down this particular part of the road, again, you can see it's not super busy, which I love about riding in Nueva Ecija. everybody's familiar with cyclists out there because so many cyclists come from this area. And yeah, we just slowly start catching up to each of the guys. And there's Sandra and Kim. Those are two of our newbies that are doing just amazing. And yeah, so we just keep heading that way and continue on our ride to Liba River. And right now we are about, I would say, 20K away. That's one of our support vehicles going by there on the left. And so now it's just time to motor and take care of business and get on with the ride. So something I always remind everyone is when you're out on these rides, and of course you're cutting through towns and there is traffic, it's just really important to be aware, be smart, don't take any unnecessary risks. Take it from me, I was in a bad accident a couple months ago, and it was just something that should have never happened, but it did. And so it's important for you to be defensive when you're on your bicycle. Don't assume anyone is going to stop for you. Don't assume they see you. Make sure that you're aware of what's taking place in and around you so that you can be safe. Yes, we are finally here. Whoa, Carabao on the road. Okay, only in the Philippines, right? It's more fun. Okay, so Eris is out in front here. There was a wicked headwind, but we are finally now here, getting really close to Liba River. It's actually only about 5 or 6 kilometers from this point. There is a great little resto here, right in the corner by that green tree. I highly recommend it if you have the time. You can stop there and get some refreshments and get back on the road. But here we go. So I love this section of the ride because it's sort of up and down, right? There's some climbs there. It doesn't really get very steep, not much more than about 7%. And then there's some downhills after some of those climbs, which always makes it fun. And then you start another climb. So I really like this style. I feel like you can get in a really good rhythm. You can have fun. It's pretty. This day was overcast, so it wasn't too hot. Just get out there and enjoy yourself. Aris is young. I wish I had legs like that still, but I don't. He gets going and takes off on a little bit of a breakaway. And you guys always hear me say, ride your ride. Don't be tempted to chase after something that you don't have to, and you are going to see why in just a minute. So Liba River is not just popular for cyclists, but it's popular for everyone. This is a major road going to Bel Air, to the Aurora Boundary. And who is that in front of me? Yes, that is our young guy, Eros, and he's about to get past. Why did he get past? Because I rode my ride. He rode out, blew himself up. We're about 94 kilometers in, and here we come into Liba River. This is like one of the prettiest places. I'm telling you, if you haven't made it out here on a ride, make it out there on a ride. You're gonna love it. Then you can get down in the river and cool off. Tons of cyclists, places to eat, get things to drink, all of that. But the best part, of course, is the river. So make sure you get out there and enjoy it. That's why we ride our ride, because even the old dogs can catch the young dogs. Solid, that was fun, huh?
Yeah.
Nice, right on. Good job. Solid.
That's Maggie Street.
Solid, man. Good job.
Woo. Yeah.
Oh, picture. Oh, we go up there. How are you guys? Morning. We head up now? We head up. Here we are again, back at Liba River. There's my man Jay. Wireless. Woo! We're gonna grab everybody here, and then we're going to head up to the Aurora Boundary. We're gonna grab a quick buko juice, and then let everyone catch up, and then we go together. Should be fun. It's nice and overcast today, so not bad. Shout out, Dad! Hey! Holy macaroni! Yep. 10K. And then there's the boundary.
Anintay niyo kami.
Oh, just the upper Liba River. So here we are headed up towards the Aurora Boundary. There had obviously been a pretty big landslide there, and so there's a lot of repairs going on in that particular area to restabilize the ground so that it can be a lot more safe. So as we work our way up here, you know, this part of the climb, I think gets skipped by a lot of people because they stop at Liba River and just have fun, which I totally understand. That's what we did last time. But it's actually a very scenic, maganda, the beautiful ride for people to be able to go up there. And then once you get up there, definite sense of accomplishment. There you are at the boundary, having some fun. And then, of course, you guys know my favorite part of climbing is the downhill. So this is where me and Coach get to cut it loose and let the wheels spin and have some fun and see if we can scare each other while we're screaming down the sides of these mountains. Okay, so while we were up top, going up to the boundary and everything, when we got back down, it had actually rained. So the ride back was a little bit wet, whereas when we came out, of course, it was dry. So, you know, whenever you're in a big group like this, I think it's always important to just, you know, take your time, be careful. You know, some of these roads can get a little bit slick, especially where you see that yellow line or the white line. Those can get really slippery when it's raining. So if you can, try to avoid them. You know, unless you're going pretty slow, then you don't have to worry too much. So you can see here I'm with Ira and Alu. We're hanging out at the back while the rest of the group goes down. I think there was more than 20 of us on this day, and so we're just gonna chill. There's climbing, of course, and some downhills going back out of this same area that we were just in before we start the 70K to get home. Hey guys, if you like what we're doing, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us get our message out there as we reach out to people just like you and me that are loving cycling, looking for a healthier lifestyle, and having some fun with their friends. Thanks a bunch for all your support. Always. Okay, so let me set the stage for you. We are 100 kilometers plus into our ride. We are headed back. We've just gotten out of the mountains, and we get passed by a bunch of speed demons. And you know how competitive I am. The tank loves to go fast. That's what we are known for out at Celex, and having some fun. So I jump on the back wheel of these guys, and they are flying. Now, there's some guys here from, I think it's Nueva Ecija, or Nuevo Ecija, I forget. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce that. Please forgive me. I'll get it right next time, I promise. One of the Biker Do Development guys is here, and then I'm so sorry, but I don't know if the other rider was affiliated with the team. But you can see there, we just passed Coach. At this point, I can tell you we're doing like 46-ish, 47, 48. These guys are hauling, and I'm 50 years old. I'm trying to hang on the back tire for everything that I've got. But it's manageable, and it's manageable because of what we learned. So there's one of the Biker Do Development guys that was pulling really hard at the front. So now I'm running in the third spot, and again, still just trying to hang on to that tire, stay in a good position. It's one of those disciplines that you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to focus. At these kinds of speeds, if you miss one thing, it's going to be a big issue, big wreck, all of that kind of stuff. So I really pay attention, especially when I'm with these young guys that are used to riding with each other. Okay, so now our lead guy he's pushed out of the way, and now it's my job to hang on to this guy. And he actually kicked it up a little bit, so we got up near 51 kilometers an hour. And we were just rolling. Now, there is a little bit of a downgrade here. It's not completely flat, but it'll be, 1% or less. And we just start hauling. And this is not like asphalt, so it's tough to go this hard, this fast on concrete. Trust me, and if you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, you just got to get out there, keep your head down. Make sure you're focused on the guy in front of you. Still pay attention to your surroundings, and remember to have some fun. So as we approach this checkpoint, we start to slow it down because obviously you got to be safe. But it was a lot of fun. I love riding with these young guys. They always inspire me, and have a bunch of fun with them. So until we see them again on the road or Celex or wherever it is, yeah, good times. Tank approved.
You said never let me go. 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 You said never let me go.
So we've crossed back over and have left the Bongabon area, and we are now there's 4 of us. So our group kind of broke away from the other group, and when you've been on the road for a long time, sometimes you just get in that groove. And at this point, we've got about 60K in the ride left. And so we've got one of our newbies, and also that's, I believe, Arliss in the cruise control jersey. And then we have Aris, who is one of the young guys that's been riding with us. There he is in the black. He's from Capaz area. And now we're just getting in like time trial mode. And time trial mode is where you just get behind that guy that's in front of you. When you're up front, you're the lead guy, and you set the pace, and the rest of us just have to follow along. This is a really good way to cover a lot of ground, and you can do it fairly quickly, fairly efficiently, but it is something you want to practice with, just a core group of people that you ride with, so that you can make this happen. So now Aris is out front, and he's not a very big young man, and there was a pretty good headwind that day, so he was working really, really hard, and I'm not the easiest one to pull for. And so I kind of get out of the way just because when we start overlapping and everything else, I want to be careful. I was also looking for a pretty clean line. At 50 years old, I want as little roughness on the road as possible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We actually were going really, really hard here for a while, and some of the areas that we went through in the towns, the roads were really rough, and we just kind of glided right over them. You would have thought we were on motorcycles or had shocks or something, so it was pretty crazy. But he's had enough out front, so he's now giving me the signal to get up there. Everyone knows how much I like being at the front, so this is my chance now to pull for the guys. And of course, I'm nice and big, so nobody ever complains when I'm up front and they get the Tronco behind me. And as we continue to motor through different parts of Nueva Ecija, headed back towards Santa Rosa, you can see we had cloud cover almost all day, which is good and bad. I mean, it is prettier, of course, when the sun is out, but it's a lot hotter and everything else. So no complaints from me, no complaints from the guys. We just enjoyed ourselves, and we just kept rolling. Got behind a few vehicles along the way to break up the wind, but not too much road racing in this one. One of the things riding here, you can see as we head under the arch, signaling that we're leaving Nueva Ecija. Really 2 great rides going out to Liba River, so I definitely will be back. But one of the things when you're on these kinds of rides, and you see Coach does it here, everything that I've learned about cycling and everything that I've learned about being a better cyclist, I've learned from this guy. And when I watch him ride, I've spent hours now behind him. He spent hours behind me. I'm always studying, and it's so interesting that at 50 years old, I get to go to school just about every day. Certainly every ride that I have with him. I really just focus on how efficient he is. At times, it almost looks like he's just gliding along, like there's no effort. I happen to know that that's a 54 chainring on the front with a compact rear cassette 1128. So I know he's not gliding. He's working really hard, just like I am now, pushing a 56. But because of what we're taught, the technique we use, the power training, etc., that torque that we develop allows us to really move efficiently. So if that's something that you're trying to figure out or you want to get into, my suggestion is reach out to Coach. You can get it through him to his Facebook page, and if that's something you want to explore more about, then by all means do it. We'd love to help you, love to work with you, and come be part of the CRC community. So we're heading through, this is actually a checkpoint that they've got set up there before you come into Nueva Ecija, and this signals that we're kind of on the the ending several kilometers, of course, still about 40K of the ride. But once you get through here, it's pretty much straightforward back to Santa Rosa, Zaragoza, and then La Paz. So Coach was kind enough to stay out front for the majority of the rest of the way home, which was nice, and he always has the perfect pace for us. Sometimes his perfect pace is when we're having to work. Other times it's when we are coming back from the balance of our ride. So we're just finishing up the motoring. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I had a blast filming this and sharing it with you, and I can't wait to do more. Everyone is welcome to ride with us. Come have fun, and we will see you on the road. Tank approved. Hey cruise controllers, Tank here. 200 plus kilometer day in the books today. Woo, man, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm ready to go home. There's gonna be so much cool video coming from this. See you guys soon.